शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः। गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। स्थावरं जङ्गमं व्याप्तं यत्किञ्चित् सचराचरम् तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। Take a comfortable posture. Eyes are gently closed. Inhale. 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 Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Slowly and gently, you may open the eyes. Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. The text Upadēśa Sāram. Upadesha means instruction or the teaching. What is the need for the teaching? What is the need for Upadesha? A person has misconception about oneself. One's true nature is not known and something else is superimposed. In order to clear out this misconception, in order to truly understand the nature of oneself, nature of reality, which frees a person, there's need for Upadesha. Ramana Maharshi's Upadēśa Sāram is beautifully discussing the preliminary sadhanas required in this path, and also the final jñāna-yoga, the sadhana of jñāna-yoga, in order to be free, One has concluded so many things about oneself. Limitations are superimposed. Thus, one has to correct this erroneous notion. That's why the need of knowledge. Error has occurred at an intellectual level. So the error can be corrected only through knowledge. No other way. If there is a stain on a piece of cloth, you can say, can I wash it through this, wash it through that? Finally, a detergent, a stain remover is required in order to get rid of that stain. All other methods become secondary. That's why the preliminary method is jñānam. In fact, why is this error? Everybody has based one's transactions with life and one's conclusion about oneself by interpreting the sensory data, isn't it so? By interpreting one's own experience. So one has a very strong sense that I am this body and nothing else. I am this body, I am this mind, I am this sense complex. One has a very strong understanding how based on one's own experience, isn't it so? You say, did you read that in any of the books? Did anybody teach you? No. It's just that you interpreted your own experience and came to these conclusions that I am the body, I am this mind, I am this sense complex. But we never question our conclusions or the sensory data. That's how, when you look at the world, it appears that the sun rises in east and sets in the west. But then, once you inquire about it, once you study some physics, once you study some science, you understand that sun neither rises nor sets. It's appearing to be so due to a particular configuration, due to the movement of the earth, not due to the movement of the sun. You understand that. Similarly, Vedanta can walk into your life, wisdom can walk into your life when you can question your conclusions and experiences of life. Just as we challenge our sense perception with reference to so many things in the world. So our sense perceptions are always examined and they're corrected, and you align yourself, you align your worldview as per newly discovered knowledge, isn't it so? The same thing has to be done in Vedanta. If you are not at all ready to let go of your conclusions, then there's no place for Vedanta. Whatever we may be inquiring, somehow this thought sometimes persists. But am I not this body? This is so experientially true to me. I am this. So this orientation always remains. And this orientation is also corrected by nididhyasana. An orientation sometimes may persist in spite of knowledge. Pujya Swamiji uses this expression. An orientation can persist even after knowledge. How is that? The other day I gave you all an example. I don't drive in this country. So I need to go to the right side of the car to sit here. But then the driving is on the other side in India. Due to that orientation, sometimes I tend to go towards the left side of the car, even though I'm supposed to sit on the right side. Don't I know that I am in this country now? I'm not in India, I'm in USA. Yes, I know. Don't I have the knowledge? But then why do I still end up going towards the left side of the car here? Because sometimes a orientation may persist in spite of knowledge. So that's what sometimes happens in Vedanta. Not that you do not have this knowledge. Orientation which has been there since 20, 30 years or 50 years, 60 years. Sometimes it needs a little more time and loving effort to correct. So stay there. So when the error is cognitive in nature, you got to correct it cognitively. So through the means of knowledge. That's why knowledge. So for this matter where the error has occurred and you need new knowledge to correct it. That knowledge comes from Shastra. Upadēśa Sāram. In fact, Shankaracharya has another work called Upadēśa Sāram. 1000 instructions, 1000 teachings about what self. In fact, he has composed even one more text which contain only one verse, Ekashloki. Even that is enough to put away our ignorance if we can inquire deeply. Or there is Dashashloki, a work comprising of 10 verses, very strong 10 verses to correct our error. So this error has to be corrected. That you see that sun rises in the east and sets in the west, that is your perception, that's your conclusion. That's how it appears. But then, when you internally correct it, nothing is going to happen to the sunrise and sunset. It's still going to appear, but you know the reality of it, isn't it so? You know the reality of it. That the sun neither rises, nor sets. You know that reality. Somebody said, the bread rises in east and sets on the west. So you know this reality. Once you know the reality, you can still enjoy the sunrise and sunset, isn't it so? Nothing happens there. Nothing happens there. But something has changed within your whole perception. The way you look at the reality is all changed. That's why jnana becomes primary sadhana, jñāna-yoga. Correcting this error becomes all our effort. Correcting this error becomes all our effort. Usually, in usual spirituality, how you see everywhere, there's never much focus on inquiry. There's a lot of focus on practice sometimes. Good, nothing wrong. But then, this inquiry into fundamental truth is never done. Is never done. So these books, these texts, the Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Sutras, and all other Prakarana Granthas like what we are studying, Upadēśa Sāram or Bhaja Govindam, Viveka Chudamani, all of them help us see this truth, to get rid of this ignorance. That's why we study the text, not for the sake of studying the text. Many years back, a person from the US who used to run a spiritual magazine, I think they still have it or not, I do not know. He had come to Coimbatore Ashram. He asked Pujya Swamiji, the team asked Pujya Swamiji that we want to make an article editorial for our magazine. We have these many circulations going. This is a standard magazine. We would like you to give us permission and opportunity to cover the entire Gurukulam, Coimbatore, Arshavidya Gurukulam, Manekati Coimbatore. So we want permission to study or just observe and interact with everyone and take some interviews and make a report on the entire ashram. So Swamiji said yes. Puja Swamiji said fine, no problem. Then they did. For a couple of days or few weeks time, they were all there. They were attending the classes, talking to people, talking to Puja Swamiji. All of it they were doing. And they came up with a report. They said they sent the magazine, isn't it? So usually having published an article, they sent. Then the report read, here is an ashram where instead of meditating all the time, people are studying the texts all the time. We do not know why people are so interested in studying the text, why they are not doing meditation all the time. Why? Because usually it's never understood that there's a cognitive error which you have to correct. We do meditate, we do have puja, we do have bhajan. All of it are part of the system, but the mukhya sadhana, the primary sadhana becomes inquiry. Because you got to correct this error internally. Now, the error has permeated into the realm of actions. All actions are done in an erroneous paradigm, an erroneous manner. We do not know why we are doing so many things. I call it Abhimanyu syndrome. What is that? Abhimanyu was this Mahabharata character. He knew how to go into the Chakravyuha and he did not know how to come out of it. So everybody knows how to start a few things, how to get involved, how to do many things, but they do not know. They know how to get into the samsara. They do not know how to get out of it. Vedanta Vidya is that knowledge which will help you come out of it. So through actions, so many disadvantageous actions are done and life is cluttered and one's life is full of actions. So error has come to the level of actions, this fundamental error. That's why Karma Yoga. So Karma Yoga is correction of your actions first and correction of your attitude with which you do the actions too. So we handle karma through Karma Yoga. And then even our bhakti, our devotion is sometimes based in such a wrong paradigm with such wrong understandings. We discussed that previously. Do not look upon Bhagavan as Amazon. Look upon Bhagavan with love. With love. That God, that higher power, is to be approached with love. So convert bhakti into bhakti yoga. Bhakti into bhakti yoga. Raise the ordinary bhakti to extraordinary level. To the level of unconditional love. Unconditional prayer. And what is upasana? Upasana means to put the focus of the mind into a particular object. So even at the level of concentrating mind on an object, this kind of an error has happened where you put your mind, your attention, focus on so many irrelevant things about the world. So pull it away, pull away that mind and focus on the truth, focus on the ultimate, focus on the higher power. So upasana, people have been contemplating, meditating upon so many things. Now convert that into upasana yoga. Upasana yoga. So having done all of it, walk on the track of jñānam. Walk on the track of jñānam. So this virus called samsara, the only vaccine is jñāna-yoga. And that jñāna-yoga consists of the 3 sadhanas, furthermore, shravana, manana, nididhyasana. Just like first dose of COVID vaccine, second dose and third dose, to put an end to all of it. So you undergo this sadhana, you undertake this sadhana. Now in the world, when we have approached the world, we have approached our life, we approached ourselves with this error. This error has given rise to so many undesirable things in the world, in our own life. That's how Shastra looks at human problems. There's a fundamental problem of error about understanding oneself. Because of that, it has given rise to so many other unpleasant emotions and unpleasant situations. Fear about future, anxiety, emotional distress, insecurity, fear of old age, fear of death, fear of disease, all of it is coming from this fundamental error. Yes, just one single day, you cannot correct it all. That's why we have the sadhana of prayer, etc., in order to handle our life's situation. So finally, all of these problems can be solved only by truly understanding yourself. But meanwhile, as you are going along, whenever you feel overwhelmed by life experiences, may you take the help of karma yoga sadhana. May you take help of bhakti. May you take help of prayers. May you take help of meditation. That's what Ramana Maharshi starts with in this text. At the level of karma, at the level of upasana, at the level of bhakti, the errors are being corrected. Since this being the final concluding class, let us take a glance over the verses that we have discussed so far. So you have that in your memory to take back certain insights and messages from this retreat. You may repeat after me. Karturajñaya prapyate phalam karma kim param karma tajjadam. So the error has occurred at the level of actions. What is that? One takes oneself to be the person who gives all the results of action. A person takes oneself to have the ability to fully control the world. And because of that, one gets frustrated. You can perform actions, but then the results come from a higher order. Karturajñaya. There is a higher order of karma. Through that karma phala dhata, a higher order, you get the results. Karma kim param karma tajjadam. So actions have a place, but they are not the ultimate thing. Never take yourself to be the author of all results of your actions. So you become a little relaxed in life by having this insight. So every situation, you do not expect the result to be whatever you want. It just doesn't happen in life, unfortunately. If it were to be so, it would have been nice. But unfortunately, that's not the law according to which the world works. Kritimaho dadhau patanakaranam phalamashashvatam gati nirodhakam. So if you engage with actions and the results of actions in this way, it will make you be drowned in an ocean of actions. And may you know that whatever the result of your action comes, that is a perishable commodity. Phalam ashashvatam. So look at any result of an action through the Shad Bhava Vikara that I discussed in the previous class. Asti jayate vardate viparinimate apakshiyate vinashyati. So every result of an action will have this cycle. It's never going to stay same. So what happens and how does this translate in your life? You have acceptance to life. You have acceptance towards everything in your life. It's okay. This is how it is. Furthermore, Ishwararpitam nechaya kritam chitta shodhakam mukti sadhakam. So Maharshi advises us to perform every action as a Ishvara puja and offer all your actions and result of actions at the altar of Ishvara and receive anything which comes to you as a prasada. Prasada buddhi is a very beautiful attitude of Sanatana Dharma, accepting the result on a first level. Then you do what is to be done. If you want to try more, you're welcome to do so. But at the first level, accept it. It gives you stability in life. And if you have this attitude towards the action, Maharshi says, this itself can become a sadhana for moksha, karma yoga sadhana. Mukti sadhakam, it becomes a sadhana for moksha in order to ultimately free yourself. Kaya vangmanaha karyamuttamam pujanam japas chintanam kramat. So we perform the religious actions in three levels. What is that? Kaikam karma, through the use of the body, we do puja, etc. And we do japa using the speech. And then we meditate using the faculty of mind. And Maharshi says, may you engage in all these three sadhanas and may you know that puja, the meditation is higher to that of chanting and chanting is higher to that of puja. May you know this order. May you know this order. Why? Because we are moving towards the subtle. We are moving towards the subtle. Jagata ishadhi yukta sevanam ashtamurti bhradeva pujanam. Spirituality, Vedanta, is also expansion. One is so limited to oneself and one's vision of life is so limited. Vedanta makes you expand yourself, expand your thinking. If you have to accommodate the whole, if you have to have a perception of that which is limitless, then your thinking and being must be expansive even at the relative level. So expand your conception of divinity. Expand your conception of God. Expand your conception of puja. It is not just limited to murti and offering to that murti. You can have this very beautiful worship that Maharshi is telling, that may you worship God in these 8 forms, the Panchabhutas, sun, moon, and oneself. How does this puja translate to? This puja translates to that of seva. Kuru sevam tvam. Puja Swamiji has written that song. May you offer seva to humanity. May you water a plant. May you feed some animals. May you keep the environment clean. All of it become a puja. All of it become a puja. Moving further, Uttamastavad Ucchamandatah Chittajam Japa Dhyānam Uttamam. In the 6th verse, Maharshi is giving another sadhana in order to bring purity of thoughts, clarity of mind. And what is that sadhana? That sadhana is of japa. So he's telling we can do japa at 3 stages. One is a loud chanting and a very passive chanting, and finally chant which just goes on in one's mind. And that is the highest level. You can start with loud chanting, aim to reach to that stage where you can mentally just keep chanting, where you do not even need a japamala, you do not need a number, you do not need any more accessories. The japa totally happens at the level of the mind. At the level of the mind. In fact, this japa also presupposes karma yoga, so that mind is also pure at the physical level. The body is located in the present moment, because action is in the present moment, result is in the future, so you are located in the action. So it does that. Japa brings purity, and you also must approach from Karma Yoga Bhavana. Otherwise, the focus in japa goes elsewhere. You target a number. Always there is a target. Just fulfilling the target is not japa. Being involved in it is true japa, real japa. Yeah. Ajyadharaya srotasa samam Sarala chintanam viralataf param. This meditation, this mental chanting or upasana meditation must occur in this way, like what? Like that of a flow of ghee or melted ghee or oil from one vessel to another, or like a river. There is a steady, continuous flow. We must develop that ability of mind. Through all these texts and these shlokas, look within. See where you stand, what you lack, put yourself into practice, and you gain those abilities. That's all, it's simple. Bheda bhavanat sohamityasau Bhavana bhida pavani mata. In upasana, where you're putting mind into a form of God, there's always duality. Bheda is duality. Meditation starts from this Bheda upasana, but move on to this upasana where you have Soham Bhava, that Ishvara is myself. I am that Ishvara. You invoke that Ishvara in this body itself. We discussed that. At the level of upasana, of course you need the backing of jñānam. That is not at this stage. Just as upasana, you approach it. You approach it. So that at least mind now agrees to go on this jnana marga, agrees this inquiry. Otherwise, always it is reserved for somebody else, never for me. Moving further. Bhavashunya sadbhava sustitihi Bhavana balad bhaktiruttama. What is the true bhakti? What is that higher bhakti? Maharshi is telling to be located in one's own true nature. Separating oneself from all the thoughts, all the emotions, all that goes on in one's mind, to just be located in your own true self. Sat, located in that Sad Bhavana is true bhakti, May you take steps in this direction. That abidance is what we need. The mind is constantly dwelling in objects. You have to, as if, turn that mind to abide within. Otherwise, mind is on a shopping spree all the time. It's always going from one thing to another. We don't want that. Such a mind will make you miserable in life. Locate it in its source. Hritstale manaha swasthatha kriya bhakti yoga bodhascha nishchitam. Maharshi is telling one thing is certain. Through all the means, through karma yoga, bhakti yoga, upasana yoga, ashtanga yoga, through all the sadhanas, what we are trying to aim is to locate mind in its source. Hritstale manaha swasthatha kriya, in its own source. So that is the effort of all the sadhanas. Do not get confused with one sadhana to another. In fact, there is no confusion. Bhakti is not different. Jnānam is not different. Karma yoga is not different. This is not different. That's ultimately the ultimate aim of all these sadhanas is to enable the mind to be located in its source. So, Swami TV used to give this example. A mother has love for the child. So mother, what is that love? Bhakti. And that mother does all the cooking to feed that child. What is happening? Karma. And in order to take care of the child, in order to do all of this, it presupposes knowledge. So it needs knowledge. It needs power of concentration, ashtanga yoga, all of it is there in one mother, isn't it so? So similarly, these sadhanas are not separate thing. Once, okay, now 9 to 10 I will do bhakti yoga. After that 10 to 10:30 I will do upasana yoga. 10:30 to 11:30 I will do jnana yoga. It's not really that. Enquiry is a constant effort, not only when the books are open or when you're listening to a talk. An inquiry is going on in your mind all the time. That's the ideal way to live. And you're doing whatever you're doing at the level of actions. That's what Maharshi is telling. Vayurodhana liyate manaha jalapakshivatrodha sadhanam. Maharshi is bringing in the sadhana of Ashtanga Yoga, pranayama, to regulate the emotions, to regulate the mind through regulation of the breath. This should not be a concept in the mind. Practice it. Put your effort in pranayama. Furthermore, chittavayavaha chitkriya-yutaha shakayordvayi shakti-mulaka. Maharshi is just giving a logic why this sadhana can happen. Why this definitely will be a successful sadhana, controlling, regulating emotions and the mind through pranayama, because these two, prana and chit, Both of them are springing forth from the same trunk of the tree, two branches, and the trunk of the tree is Prakriti. Laya vinashane ubhayarodhane layagatam punar bhavati no mritam. We discussed this in detail. The pranayama sadhana, the ashtanga yoga sadhana can give you laya, temporary dissolution of all the impressions of ignorance in the mind. But what you are seeking is permanent solution. What you are seeking is permanent solution. As I discussed earlier, life has so many problems, challenges to deal with. Fearfulness, fear, insecurity, anxiety about the future, depression, hurt, guilt, all of it gets erased at once by truly knowing oneself, by correcting the error. But at the level of the world, when you are just a seeker traveling this path, may you make use of all the sadhanas available to you in order to handle the mind. So laya is okay, temporary laya is okay, and use religious sadhanas for this instead of going for any other sources of laya. This is where all our sadhanas of Sanatana Dharma comes in beautifully. Every puja, every ritual, every action, every prayer can bring forth that laya, temporary absorption, which will give you strength to handle day-to-day life. Shall give you strength to handle day-to-day life. That's why the place for all these sadhanas. Today when we have the chanting, you have an occasion to bring forth all the things that Maharshi is suggesting. Use it as an occasion in order to channelize the mind entirely onto the object of meditation. What is that object of meditation? Is Dakshinamurti. If you are chanting, let your chant be with love, with bhava. And you see, you will gain this laya through the chant itself, with repeated chanting. If you are not going to chant, then may you have the image of Dakshinamurti in your mind and eyes are closed and there is chanting going on. Your mind, try to keep pulling the mind towards the object of your meditation, through the object of your meditation. That's the beauty of all of it. That's the beauty of the entire system. Pranabandhana lina manasam eka chintana nashametyadaha. So Maharshi is telling the permanent solution is eka chintanam. Eka chintanam. Vedanta is going to be only this. Pujya Swamiji once told, he told that at the end day of the course, so the 3.5 years course is coming to an end. On the first day he said that, last day he said that. First day he said, the first day I am going to talk, you are Brahman. The last day also I am going to talk the same thing, you are Brahman. Nothing is going to change. What is going to change through many texts? The standpoints are going to change. The standpoints of inquiry are going to change. That's all. The message is one. The message is one. So what is the solution of all the problems? Eka chintana nashametyadaha. That ignorant mind vanishes. All the impressions are dead and gone when you gain the ability of nididhyasanam backed by manana and shravana. That eka chintana is total appreciation of aham brahmasmi. I am that Brahman. The limitations are at the level of the body, that's all. So you have that insight. The 15th verse. Nashtamanasotkrishtayoginaha Krityamasti kim swastitim yataha. Maharshi is hinting at what is that stage one reaches, what one becomes in undergoing all these sadhanas. In fact, there is no becoming. One comes to know oneself. It's as though becoming. It's as though becoming. The being was ever present and you recognize it. And you are a Utkrishta yogi now. A yogi of higher order. And Maharshi puts a question. What is there for this person to be done? Krityamasti kim swastitim yataha. For this person who has attained this jñānam, what more is to be done? What is there to be done? The answer is, nothing is there to be done. Religiously, the Veda imposes so many rituals in a person's life. May you do this, may you do that, may you do tarpanam, may you do shraddha karma, may you do sandhyavandanam, may you do puja, may you undertake pilgrimage. All these suggestions for actions the Veda suggests for an individual to keep that person grounded, to keep that person connected with this system which can free him. Having got freedom, what do you do with the system? It's all up to the jnani. Krityamasti kim swastitim yataha. If that person wishes to engage in action, that person engages. If that person wishes to engage in puja, that person engages. If that person wishes to engage in public works, that person engages. If that person likes to continue the profession, the person continues. There is no inner compulsion that I have to do this. The Veda also takes a step back. I have nothing to say for a jnani, for he has gained whatever has to be gained. So I have nothing to say. I have done my job, the Veda says. And it's only up to that person to live whatever life, based on dharma, of course, to live. There's nothing to be done in order to gain something. That attitude is just not there. That error is corrected. I have to do something in order to gain fulfillment. That criteria is just not there in the mind at all. That Utkrishta yogi has attained freedom. That's how freedom looks like. There is no inner compulsion to do or not do anything. Everything is a spontaneous action. Ashtavakra Gita compares the life of a jnani to that of a dry leaf from the tree, which has freed itself, which is just flowing in the air, which is just floating in the air. There's nothing to be done for that leaf. It has served its purpose. Now, wherever the wind takes it, it goes. The wind, wherever it takes, it goes. Similar is the life of a jnani. And don't reserve the jnanis to be in Himalayas or to have long beard. Pujya Swami used to joke, the longer the beard, the perception is, the greater the jñānam. Nothing like that. It could be anyone, anybody who has this insight. It could be you. In fact, it's not, it could be you, it should be you. It should be you. It should be you. Otherwise, what's the point? What's the point of coming here? What's the point of teaching? What's the point of me teaching all this if there is no possibility for you? The whole effort becomes that wasted. It's not, it's a possibility. It's very much a possibility. May you look into your life, your sadhanas in this light. So, in fact, Human beings are very logical when handling life's problems in various contexts. They're always looking for permanent solutions on the ordinary realm. But when it comes to handling one's fear, handling one's emotions, emotional problems, somehow they're not looking at a permanent solution. Everybody are still stuck at temporary solutions. You see, you need something, then there is a monthly subscription of $12 per month, or there is an annual subscription for $80 per annum. You're very intelligent, you would take that annual subscription. Why? Because you want a good solution. You don't want just a temporary solution. By paying $12 per month, you want a better solution, you want a better deal. So Vedanta is offering you a best deal. Permanent solution to all problems. Permanent solution to all problems. May you take to this path. May you know that Vedanta, Shruti is the only person. Shruti, we look upon Shruti or Veda, another name for Veda is Shruti. We look upon Veda as mother. The Mother Veda alone is telling you are complete. You are complete. Your nature is that of fullness. Fundamentally, you lack nothing. You are the whole. Nobody says this. Everybody is saying, hey, you are foolish. You're stupid. You're not good enough. Ask the spouse. No, he's not good enough. He could be better. Ask the spouse. She is not good enough. She could be better. Nobody has total acceptance of you except for that of Veda. Veda, in its vision, you are complete. You are the whole. You lack nothing. And that is told through all these verses. So next year, next 15 verses for the camp, December 2025, registrations are open. So may you know that. May you know that. So may you go in this path. So I will end today's discourse, the final class, with saying that understand the Jagat is one Maha order. It has a structure. It has an underlying order. Recognize that. Recognize that. The more you recognize it, more harmony will be in your life. More harmony will be in your life. Know that you are the one who gives reality to this entire world of names and forms that you hold on to. Once you take back that reality, that object or person or the situation just doesn't exist in your life. You see that, you keep doing that in your life. You keep doing that in your life. Know that fundamental fact. Only when you invest your attention into one object or part of the world, then alone that part of the world or that object lights up. It's like switching on the light switches in a room or hallway. Unless you switch it on, that will be in dark. Now you know, so many things are there in the world, so many situations are there in the world. They walk into your life only when you invest your attention. South Africa never existed in one's mind. But somebody says we went there for holiday. Suddenly South Africa lights up. Peru was not at all on one's radar. Somebody goes for a holiday and says, we went to Peru, it was very nice. That lights up in your mind. That something comes to your life, you engage with it only when you make a connection. Objects are insentient by themselves. They don't make a connection with you. You make a connection with the objects. May you know this fundamental truth. Fundamental truth. So do not have this kind of a weird concept in mind where you are holding on to the object and say, hey, speaker, leave me, Bluetooth speaker, let go of me. No, you are the one holding on to it. You are the one holding on to it. Just like dropping the Bluetooth speaker, we cannot drop people in life. That's not a possibility. But understand, it can be emotionally you can let go. Emotionally you can let go. Let go of the situations. Let go of the past. All of it. You free yourself. And may you know, none of the objects in the world contain even an ounce of ananda. Hold on to my example. Whenever you think that something is going to give you happiness, look at the ingredients and you see if happiness is mentioned there. Look if happiness is mentioned there. And life experiences can be overwhelming. Life is challenging. Sudden twists, turns, plots, change of an entire ground on which you are standing. All of it is part and parcel of life. Whenever life overwhelms you, take help of prayer. Take help of prayer. It's the best sadhana. Take help of prayer and recognize the blessings and grace in one's life. It's a very important aspect to note. Grace and blessings are there for everyone. There's nothing called special grace. Oh, Swamiji, what is this? Looks like bad news. Everything is running because of blessings. It's not some special blessings. It's like, everything, gravity is operating for everyone. Isn't that same for everyone? Does it change for person to person? No, don't go into very complex physics. Look at it that way. That's the cause. If you fall down, what is it? You say, one thing that you may say, oh, how did the fall occur? Because you put a wrong step and you fell down. But basically, why did you fall down? Because of gravity. Gravity is same for everyone. Similar is the grace. Otherwise, God becomes partial, isn't it so? Blessing, gracing one person and not another person. So that grace and blessings are available for everyone. Invoke it and bring it into your life. Sunlight is available for everyone and it comes in only when you open the windows. So similar is the grace. What you need is not lack of grace or anything. You need to open up your mind and heart to receive that grace. So that's how it happens. In life, take charge of your life. You do have agency and many things are what they are. Accept this fact and move further. May your Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana be successful. May you have gratitude in your heart and assurance that the Guru, the teachings of the Gurus, this knowledge will free you. Thus, if you walk this path in this direction, in this attitude, definitely it frees you. May you have a happy and healthy life ahead. I invoke the blessings of Lord Dakshinamurti, Pujya Swamiji, and all the Gurus, the Guru Parampara, to guide you in your pursuit. Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate, Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.